Well, good morning. So we're in Genoa, as you know. We stayed at this hotel, Star Hotel President, which is a weird name, but you know, what can you do? I've never stayed here before. It's quite expensive, but if you've ever tried to stay in Genoa, and we've stayed in Genoa many times, and it feels like we've stayed at every hotel in Genoa, and it's very difficult to find good quality hotel in Genoa. We've tried so many, so this has been the best, but it's probably the most expensive one we've stayed in as well. All right, so we've just had our breakfast. We left the hotel. We had breakfast at this place here. Recommend it if you're in Italy. Been here before. We had some nice food. They've got some nice cakes, nice coffee. We didn't have all this construction on the outside of the building when we were here last time, but it's unaffected inside, and it's delicious food. And now we're going to head to the hotel, which is in the Alps. All right, so we are in the car. We're getting out of this tight parking space, and then we're leaving Genoa. So it's always sad to leave somewhere that you've enjoyed being, even if it was only a short trip. Oh, it's wonky because the car was on the side. So I've just been spent 5 minutes trying to fix the camera here because it was on a slant, but the car was parked on a slant. So as soon as we came off it, it straightened up. Strangely, right? And it's lovely. Some lovely streets here, isn't it? So it's always sad to leave, like I said, but on to the next place. We're going to the Alps. It's going to be beautiful. I would say probably more beautiful, but it's going to be a lot colder.
Freezing.
It's probably going to be, it's 20 and a half degrees right now. In the Alps, it's probably going to be half of that. It's probably going to be about 14 degrees maybe. So not quite half, but considerably colder. But it's absolutely beautiful up there. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to going home as well. It's always nice to be in Italy, but it's always nice to go home, isn't it? It's always nice to, wherever you are, it's always nice to get back to your house with all your stuff and everything. So I've got one of the dwarfs next to me. Guess which one?
Sneezy. I'm happy.
So we dropped off our stuff with the boat, we went to the marina, and now we're heading to our hotel. So we're going to have a couple of days off before heading back to the UK. So I'm super excited about that because I'm pretty exhausted that we did in Monaco. I walked 16 kilometers on the Saturday, which is 10 miles. And then on the Tuesday, I went back and filmed again, and I did almost exactly the same amount, 16 kilometers again. So I did walked 20 miles Saturday, and on Sunday we went to another place and I filmed there. So yeah, it was a really busy weekend, and I still haven't recovered from it, to be honest. So yeah, anyway, onwards to Mont Blanc, or Monte Bianco as the Italians call it. We're just seeing the mountains for the first time. I'll be able to show you on the GoPro footage hopefully, but weirdly, as we've got further inland, it's getting hotter. It's 26 degrees now. When we left Genoa this morning, it was 22 degrees. And now it's 26, which is weird. Now I know usually inland it's hotter than near the coast, but usually when I'm going the other way, as I head down from Mont Blanc, it gets hotter and hotter until I get to the coast where it's the hottest. That's why I'm saying I'm surprised. It seems to be going the other way right now. But yeah, 26 degrees, but we've just seen the mountains, as I said, for the first time. So
after
it's exciting.
800 meters, take the exit. Then got
Take the exit.
just over an hour left to go before we get there. So yeah, I'm excited. We're right into the mountains now. We're ascending, and interestingly, the weather, the temperature was earlier was, look at that, there's a UK registered Fiat Spider just gone by, but it's left-hand drive. I just overtook him a few minutes ago, but I slowed down to do this video. So anyway, we were 26 degrees when I did the last report, and within 20 minutes it's now 19 degrees. It's dropped 5 degrees as we get up to the mountains. Look at the thing on the hill there, actually. So anyway, we're 45 minutes away from our destination, but yeah, I knew it was going to get colder, so it's going to continue to get colder as well as we go higher in elevation. So look at this, we've got snow-covered mountaintops in the background. We've got the Mont Blanc, or Monte Bianco as they say in Italian, mountains ahead of us, which is where we're heading. We're about 30 minutes away now. I just wanted to point out the mountains, they look amazing. All right, so we have made it to our location, which is a little town called Salle, I believe. And it is on the Italian side of Mont Blanc. We're like 6 minutes away. And the weather has suitably dropped to 17.5 degrees, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest. 26 was a bit too hot for me. Yeah, so it's very different here, how it looks with all the mountains and the trees and stuff like that. But we're excited to get there. We've only been on the road for 2 hours 40 minutes. So when we leave to go home from here as well, it's a shorter trip. So we're doing our trip in small sections this time. So when we leave from here in a few days, we're going to drive to Rheims, I believe, and then we're staying again in a hotel, and then from then the next day we'll drive to Calais, get the train, and then head home to our...
Well, good morning, guys. Well, we've had a great couple of days break here in a place called Salle, I believe it is pronounced, in Italy. It's on the Italian side of the border in Mont Blanc, as you know. And it's a place that we've been to once before, and it's just an amazing place. It's so quiet here. It's so peaceful. And it's, you're out in the nature, you're in this wooden cabin, or chalet cabin, I don't know what you call it. I think it's generally more busy in the snow. I think the host said that they do get busier in the summer as well. So people do come in the summer, but at the moment we're the only guests staying in the hotel, which was the same last time we were here, which is amazing. But anyway, bottom line is super quiet. And now it's time to leave. Well, shortly, not quite yet, but soon it'll be time to leave and head, on the way home. We're not going to be home today, but we're heading to France. We're going to be staying in a place in France, which is quite it's not a funny name, but to me, it always reminds me of a place in the US, which is not the best place you want to stay. Which we'll get to later on. I mentioned it on the way down, actually, when I was heading south. But anyway, we're going to head there tonight. We're going to stay in a hotel again. We're doing it a slower pace on the way home this time, specifically for my missus, who doesn't like these long road trips. I love them. I could happily drive from here all the way home tonight, but she doesn't like that. So, but just enjoying our last couple of hours in this place. With the snow and the mountains there, it's one of those places that, unless of course you live here, you look up and it just almost seems fake. It looks so perfect that you almost think it's fake. It's like you're watching a movie or something, because it's so different to what I'm accustomed to. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. There's the water that comes down from the mountain here is also amazing. I think this is where they get mineral water from. It's absolutely fantastic. So we went for a little walk yesterday, We saw some amazing sights, this waterfall which blew us away. We sat in a little cafe right next to this waterfall. It was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I didn't film. I filmed a little bit, you know, just like a tourist. I'll put some in so you can see what I'm talking about, but I didn't do any vlogging or anything like that because I wanted to have a couple of days off. But now we are back on the road in a couple of hours, and yeah, we'll be back in business. So we've still got quite a few videos to come out. Still got quite a lot of extra footage, back behind the scenes stuff to come out as well. So fear not. And we're going to be making more trips to Europe. Anyway, I'm just going to take in the view, take in the fresh air and the quietness, and yeah, and spend a little time on this balcony here, which is where I'm stood right now, and enjoy it, and then we'll get on the road soon.
Alright, so it's time to leave this amazing location and get on the road to northern France. This is even the little town that it's in, village, I would say village, not town, is quite amazing. I would imagine it's very popular during the snow season. Lots of amazing little houses. And, it's very tight though, very narrow. Most of it is a single track. We've got our trip is, let's see, 6 hours 43 minutes we've got to get to where we're going. So not bad, you know, sort of 3-4 hours and then stop for something to eat, and then another 3.5 hours. So yeah, so ETA, it's midday right now. It's about exactly midday, and our ETA is 6:45. Waterfalls. Our ETA is 6:45. So yeah, good day's driving. Looking forward to it. Do the Mont Blanc as well. The place that we were staying at is really close to the Mont Blanc tunnel, turns out. So we've just been on the road for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and then we reached the tunnel. I seem to have a faint recall of that now from last time, but we stayed here 2 years ago. So anyway, we're in the tunnel. So we've just left Italy, unfortunately. We're gonna go through an 11-kilometer tunnel now. An average speed camera system in here, like we have in the UK, everywhere. So, oops. I'm gonna use my cruise control, and then we have to descend down the hill, the mountain, down. We have to descend down the mountain and then continue on our trip. Anyway, not long now till we come out the other side, and then onwards. All right, there we go. Into France, just like that. Good news is, still warm. The first time I did this trip, when was that now? 2021 maybe? 2020? I don't remember. The first time I did this trip, and I came the other way, I went into a tunnel, and I came out the other side, and it was green on the one side, normal green. It was cold, but it was green. I go through the tunnel, come out the other side, it was full of snow. This area, it was all white. I mentioned it before, but It was incredible to go into one. It was like those movies where they come out they go in the mountainside, they come out and there's dinosaurs and stuff. It was like one of those movies. It was incredible. But yeah, it's okay. I can see snow on the mountain still, but it's good weather, so that's great. So now we just have to start our big descent. I think it's like 1,200 meters. I got my app running now. Altitude is 1,172 meters and descending. But what have we got? We've got 6 hours to go, and
Ahead,
let's see.
keep right.
6 hours to go, 719 kilometers. We're a little delayed, so our ETA is 1900 hours, 7 p.m. And you'll see where we're going to be staying. The place I mentioned earlier. It's a funny. If you live in the US, it'll make you laugh. All right, so we just made the turn. It's like a nautical thing when you change course. So up until sort of recent, we've been heading kind of towards Paris, which is in the kind of in the center, but it's like northwest of France. But Calais is on the northeast of France, more so. And we've just changed course. From heading to Paris, so northeast to northwest, and now we're heading towards Lille, which says 500 kilometers. So it's still a long way to go, but it's an event large enough to require me to make a note of it on camera. I feel like I'm back at sea. But anyway, the bottom line is it means that we're now heading to our hotel, which is towards our final destination. So yeah, it means a lot more to me than it probably does to you. There's a certain amount of course changes that you do on a journey, and then eventually you end up pointing straight at the place you're heading to, and that's what we're doing right now. So but yeah, 2 hours from our destination. Well, less than 2 hours, 1 hour 54 minutes. And yeah, we're doing well. We've got 220 kilometers to go. Our ETA is 2,000 hours. And that's because we stopped and had a very unfulfilling burger. And it's not something I normally eat. I've only ever had McDonald's once in my life, and that was in Ukraine, of all places. I had a Burger King today just because we were in a service station and there wasn't much else to choose from, and it was pretty crap, what I expected it to be. All right, so we've just stopped for fuel. We are 40 minutes away from the destination, but the missus couldn't hold her bladder any longer, so I had to stop. We're taking the opportunity to buy some milk for tomorrow's coffee. And yeah, but that's it. I mean, that's almost the trip done. Just a quick update, actually. Since leaving the UK, I have driven 3,650 kilometers. I don't know whether you saw that. Hopefully I captured it. The name of the place that we're staying in is Saint-Quentin. That's the big reveal. Hope it's not too lame. But yeah, I just think it's funny that it's named. There's a place there's a prison in California called Saint-Quentin, and that's probably, I don't know, I'm probably wrong about this, but maybe this is the original version. I don't know. But yeah, we're staying in Saint-Quentin. It's 2 hours from Calais. I said 1 hour early, but it's 2 hours from Calais. Calais is 219 kilometers according to a sign that we're just passing right now. My forward-facing GoPro died, so I can't show that. Yeah, so we're almost there. We're less than 30 minutes out now, so yeah, I'm relieved. It's 10 to 8. Like I said, we had to stop again, so our ETA is now 8:15. All right, good morning. So, very interesting night. So we stayed at this place in Saint-Quentin, not the prison. And now we're heading to Le Tunnel, as the French call it, I believe. No, Le Shuttle. Le Shuttle. And but the place we stayed in last night was such. I mean, it was a bit weird, I must admit. It had this staircase, this metal spiral staircase, which looks cool until you try and get your suitcases up and down it. So I had some fun with that. And when I first went in, I had a backpack on and the suitcase in front, and yeah, that was not a good idea. So I struggled up and down. As with most hotels these days, there's a shortage of plug sockets. But the weirdest thing, which I didn't film actually, was that there was a shower. The shower cubicle was there was no bathroom as such. It was just one room with a bed, and the shower cubicle had no shower curtain or door or anything like that. So it was just like, hello, welcome to my shower experience. Yeah, that was bizarre. Frenchies. If you're French and you're watching, I apologize, but that's a bit weird for me. Anyway, so we're on the way, but we don't have any coffee, which is a bit of a crisis because we didn't get any milk. So now, if you've watched these videos before, you'll know that I don't rate French coffee at all. So it's a problem. So yeah, but when we get to the tunnel, we may be able to get some in Starbucks, which I don't even like Starbucks coffee, but I need my coffee. So, and we are about to arrive at the tunnel. Super happy about that. It's 9:38, and the train that we were supposed to be on leaves at 9:48. So we're not going to be making that because it takes about half an hour to 40 minutes to get through this. You have to get your ticket first, then you have to go through immigration, French and British immigration, and all that stuff, and it takes a while. So we're not going to be making that train, but we'll get part on the next one. But we'll see what happens anyway. Go on this side. Yes, British. There we go. Look at that. They got a British flag up the top there to tell you that you can go on that side. That's good. Nice. Oh, here we go. So we'll find out our fate. Press to check in. Look at that. First call for boarding will be in 2 minutes. So, and then they print out they print out your ticket, and away you go. Bon voyage. So that's stage one. Stage two is you have to go through immigration. Like I said, both sides. You have French, then English. And the reason why they do that is so when you get to the other side, you just drive straight off the train and continue on your way. You don't have to go through immigration on the other side. So it's good stuff. We're going to stop and get some coffee and stuff, breakfast. All right, stage two is the French, what do you call it? French customs, not customs, border control, immigration, yeah. We just bought some French baguettes and croissants before we cross, because the bread in France is very good, I must admit. Hello. See, I need it, babe. Now we've done the French one, and we got to go through the British one.
Bonjour. Explosive detection.
Okay.
Wait for the reason.
No problem. Explosives detection next. This is something that they only used to do periodically. So like they won't do every car. They'll just do like every randomly check a number of cars. But now it seems to be Maybe they're just doing this section, I don't know, but it seems like they're doing every car. We have to wait for them to give us the result. Okay, that's another step out of the way. Now UK border control. And once we're through here, we're done. We're home free. We're gonna make sure there's no migrants in the car, and then, yeah, happy days. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Whereabouts have you been?
Italy.
Hello, you okay?
Yes.
Hello, sir. Do you both live in the UK, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And why is your partner sat in the back?
Because she likes to pretend she's the queen and wave at people.
What do you do for work, sir?
I make videos.
Okay, when you get your documents back, you go to garage number 1 for me. Yeah?
Okay. All right, so we just got stopped. They searched us, which is unusual. It's happened a couple of times lately, but the answer that I gave to the guy, I think it might have upset him a little bit. He asked why my partner was sat in the back, and I said it's because she likes to pretend she's the queen. He didn't find that funny at all. So, and then we went into this room, and they said kind of searched us, but I don't think they didn't do much. They didn't take anything out, I don't think. So yeah, so we're through. That was quite funny. The thing is, I've done that training. The training that they've done, I've done it all, and it was a long time ago, but I've done it. So I know what they're looking for. So luckily we're on the next. We got put on the next train. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Our fears, or my fear, was not realised that they were going to bump us for like 2 hours or something. So now we just wait until they start to load us onto the train, and then next stop, Gran Bretagne, I think they say in France. Off we go again. This time onto the train. There's another mechanic in front. We're going on the big train. This is the wider one. Normally you're in the narrow thing. But we're going in with all of the RVs and stuff. Good stuff. Woohoo! All right, so what we've got to do now is, if you remember in the outbound video, I made a lot of changes to the car. I put the lights in the European mode. I put it into kilometers, all that jazz. Well, now I got to switch everything back to UK style. So we're going to do that now. All right, quick note. If you look over there, we've done 3,904 kilometers. Now we'll switch that back in a minute. You can see it says 101,900 kilometers. But we're going to switch back to miles in a minute. So we'll see how many that is in miles. So what we need to do is we need to turn on the ignition first. Would help. Oops. So service in 4 days. Okay. So here we go. So this is what we need to do. We go in. We say settings. Lights and visibility, exterior lights, and then we go left, right at driving, and we say standard. That's the first thing done. Now we need to do date and time. We need to change the time. Oh, it's on automatic actually. That's fine. I don't know how it knows when I don't know how it knows to change the date when we get back to the UK, but there you go. Let's see if that works. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need to do units. It's the next one. Units. And we say speedometer, miles. And now, we look over on the left now, we can see that it's gone back to miles, and we've done 63,000 miles, and then we've done 2,426 miles. So So what was that? 3,904 kilometers. And that's the total so far. Obviously, we're not done yet. I reset that. Obviously, I reset that before we left the house, or before I left the house. So when I get back, I will make a note of that for my business records as well. But there you go. So we're all set now. The time's still on Europe time. We'll see if that change. We'll see if that changes when we get back to the UK. I don't know how the car will. Well, I suppose the onboard sat nav will tell it that it's in the UK, and that's how it will know to change. All right, and just like that, we are back in the UK. Must remember to drive on the left. Wow, it's actually blue skies. Well, it's kind of. It's cloudy, but it's blue. I'll take it. It's not raining. That's the point. It's always weird to come back to the UK after being away. I don't know why. It's weird and normal at the same time. All right, so we're back in the UK. Fantastic. In actual fact, it's 16 degrees. So it's yesterday it was 22 degrees while we were in France on the motorway. Yeah, it's 16 here, but it's sunny. It's not raining, so I'm happy. Now we are currently in a average speed camera zone, which I don't think I've been in. I think there was one in France. So in the last three and a half weeks, I've been in one of those zones, and now I've been in the UK for 10 minutes, and we're already in one. We love our speed cameras. So yeah, anyway, we've got 3 hours, 40 minutes to go, 233 miles. Nice to be back in miles. And we're doing well. I put in a full tank of fuel. It was 151 sterling per litre. In Italy, it was 189 a litre euros. My missus did a conversion, and that means that it was 179 here equivalent, so it's cheaper than Italy. In France, it was 195, so it was even more expensive. On the auto route, it was like over €2 a litre, which is outrageous. We've made another stop. My missus has the bladder of a hamster. So, yeah, I said to her, I'm so glad I don't have your bladder, because it's like we have to make our trip. Our voyage plan is based on where the toilets are. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration, but it's not far off, you know. She says I have the bladder of a camel. I just think that I have the bladder of a normal human being, and she has the one of a, like I said, a hamster. So anyway, we've made another stop. We're off the M25 now, which is the most congested motorway in the UK. We're on the M1 northbound, and we've got 3 hours to go, 160 miles, and then we're finally home. Well, that was interesting. Just saw a trike, a two-seater trike. Very, very rare you see those two-seat. Well, very rare you see a tricycle, three-wheeled motorbike, if you like. But that one was built for two people, and it was piled up with cases, you know, so they can travel. Wow, that was incredible. Something you don't see every day. All right, so we're nearly there. We have an ETA of 34 minutes, only 30 miles to go. We've got some congestion up ahead. Welcome to the UK, you know. The welcoming committee. So, yeah, but, you know, it doesn't dampen my mood. 34 minutes left to go. It's not a lot. So yeah, I'm be glad to get home. I've already turned on my coffee machine at home remotely, so it'll be nice and hot when I get there. Make some decent coffee. We stopped and I got a coffee from Costa, which is a Starbucks type coffee place in the UK. If you don't know it, it's actually owned by It's actually owned by a company that makes beer. They recognized how popular coffee was becoming. They bought this company, this Costa Coffee. Anyway, it's terrible coffee, terrible. And it was £4.50. Oh, I told you that already. So anyway, I didn't drink it, couldn't drink it. So I'm going to make some proper coffee when I get home. All right, guys, so we are 11 minutes out, and I just got notification that my junction for the end of our motorway part of the journey is over. So we're about to come off the motorway, which I'm very happy about. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up the video here, I think, because of things that have happened in the past, as you know.
800 yards.
I don't
Take
want
the
to show
exit.
my house
Then
on camera.
Go left on the roundabout.
So I think I'll wrap up here.
Take the exit.
And
Then
thank you for joining me on this
left
trip.
the roundabout.
You're still here. You get 25 points. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and we'll talk soon. Don't forget to leave comments below. Let me know what you thought about the video. If there's anything you feel like I missed out, or you want to know more about the process of going through the Channel Tunnel, or whatever, let me know. And the next time we go, I will be sure to put that in for that trip. All right, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye. The Spider is a great car. It's a fast car, but it does not come close to this car.